Okay, let's talk about a side hustle that honestly sounds a little too good to be true. We're talking about using AI to create kids' songs for YouTube, but the income potential here is, well, it's staggering. In this explainer, we're going to break down how these so-called faceless channels are pulling in massive passive income, all without ever showing their face on camera.
So, let's make this real for a second. What if you could make almost $500 a day? Every single day. That's what we're really digging into here. And look, this isn't some pie-in-the-sky hypothetical. This is something people are actually doing right now. And that daily number? Oh, it can scale. It can scale a lot. Take a channel called Gracy's Corner. Their estimated monthly earnings are somewhere around $427,000. That's not a hobby, you guys. That is a full-blown media business.
So what is this opportunity exactly? We're calling it the AI songbook opportunity. And it's a very specific niche on YouTube that's proving to be incredibly lucrative if you have the right strategy.
You know, the key here really is simplicity. If you go look at a channel like Gracy's Corner, you're not going to find some Hollywood-level production. Nope. It's all about simple animations and super catchy tunes. One of their songs has over 66 million views. That just proves you don't need a huge budget. What you need is an effective, repeatable formula.
All right, now for the strategy. This is absolutely crucial because this is where most people get it wrong. It's not just about creating any old song. It's about finding your specific, untapped niche in this giant sea of content. And this slide right here, this perfectly illustrates the biggest mistake beginners make. So many people jump into these totally saturated niches. You know, another ABC song, another Twinkle Twinkle, and they're competing with massive studios. That's like bringing a bicycle to a Ferrari race. The smart money, the real opportunity, is in these untapped niches that solve actual problems for parents, things like hygiene, safety, or learning how to share. These are the areas with low competition and super high demand. This quote just nails it. It gets right to the heart of the whole business model. You're not just making entertainment here, you're creating valuable tools for parents. They are actively searching for ways to teach their kids important life lessons, and that makes this whole venture incredibly durable. Heck, even recession-proof. So how do you actually do it? How do you make one? Let's walk through the creation process. Think of this next part as your own personal AI creation studio, where we're going to turn a simple idea into a complete video in just a few minutes.
And before you even think it, but I have zero musical talent. I can't sing. That is the absolute beauty of this whole system. It just doesn't matter. As the source material so perfectly puts it, it doesn't matter if you can't even sing in the shower. The AI does all the heavy lifting for you. It writes the song, it sings the song, and it even creates the animation.
The process is actually incredibly straightforward. It really just boils down to 3 simple steps. First, use a tool like ChatGPT to brainstorm those high-potential, low-competition ideas. Second, you get that same AI to write the lyrics for you. And third, you plug those lyrics into a video AI tool and it generates the entire animated video from scratch.
And to make this super practical, here are the exact kinds of prompts you'd actually use. For ChatGPT, you're asking it to be your research assistant to find those golden opportunities. For the video AI, you're basically the director, telling it what style and mood you want. These simple text commands are all you need. Now just keep in mind, while some of these tools have free versions, the pro versions that really unlock this potential do have subscription costs, so you'll want to factor that into your plan.
Creating one video is great. It's a fantastic start. But the real long-term goal is to build something that lasts. So let's talk about how we move from just chasing views to actually building a brand that parents recognize and, more importantly, trust.
This is how you give your AI-generated content a soul. It's about creating a consistent world, you know? A little signature intro jingle, a specific color scheme you always use, characters that show up again and again so kids recognize them, and maybe even a unique cultural twist. This is what builds loyalty. This is what gets people coming back for more.
And right here, this might be the single most important insight for your entire strategy. Kids are not the ones hitting that subscribe button. Parents are. This means your branding, your video titles, your thumbnails, everything should be appealing directly to the parent. You have to communicate that your content is safe, it's educational, and it's valuable for their child. So, to wrap this all up, let's just think about the bigger picture for a second. A single person with a laptop and a few AI tools can now create what used to require an entire studio full of people. And that leads to a pretty fascinating thought, doesn't it? Is it possible that the next big media giant won't be a giant company at all, but a solo creator building an entire empire from their laptop?